This video is brought to you by Rolling Thunder. This is the case that we'll be using, which is the NZXT Switch A10. These are the fans that are pressure optimized for the H100i. These are the fans that light up bright red. These are the NZXT fans that came with the case. This is a Segate 2TB drive that holds my games, software, and the OS. This is the H100i. It will be cooling the CPU and dissipating the heat into the air by water. This is the Asus HD7970 that I've updated the BIOS into, making it an R9 280X. It's a triple slot card and takes PCI Express. This is the RAM we'll be using, the Patriot Vipor series RAM, has 8GB kit. This is the Asus DVD drive that we'll be using. This is our motherboard, the Maximus V formula by Asus. These are the extra parts we'll need, such as the I/O shield and the SATA cables. This is the NZXT Hue, the lighting kit that we'll be installing. Here are the extra parts that we'll be using to install the H100i. This is the OCZ Fatility 1000 watt power supply. Its individually sleeved cables are amazing. So we're going to be starting by installing the fans. So 4 screws in each corner, and I will speed this up. Alright, first fan done. Now to do the other 3. Alright, so now it's to install these fans. So you want to make sure that you have the cable, in this case, closest to the bottom. You just route it through and stick the fan in there. And like the other one, you don't have to hold it there that much. Oh yeah, it's gonna fall. So now you just put the 4 screws. Okay, next fan. You want to put the cable closer to the bottom again. And then all 4 screws. Those 2 fans are done. Now the bottom fan. So now it's to install the bottom fan in this area. So I'll just quickly do that. Okay, so that's the final fan, and next we'll be getting the motherboard ready for installation. So today we'll be installing the CPU and the RAM. So to install the CPU, you just want to make sure that you line it up properly with the grooves. Simply place it in, put the cover over it, get the handle, lift it down. Now this motherboard doesn't have both clips to undo. Just put one clip in. Make sure that you line up the notch with the notch on the motherboard. And clip it in with your 2 thumbs. Once you hear that clip, you're done. Next stick. There. Now the memory's in, and now we're going to put it in the case. So you want to start off by putting these standoffs in. I already have the rest of them in. All you do is find your place. The motherboard manual will tell, the case manual will tell you. Screw it in, and you're good to go. Now from your motherboard box, you want to get this I/O shield. Now it's supposed to go in this way. Yep, it's supposed to go in that way. So you just easily slide it in, punch it in, and you should hear the click. Okay. Now to the motherboard, you want to line it up with the I/O shield. Make sure that you put the I/O shield in the right place. And you just want to line it up easily. And there you go. Now you want to get your motherboard and screws, which you can find from your case. Alright, so you'll have a few screws. You want to get a screwdriver, and you want to start with the corners. don't reef them too much or you just damage your motherboard. Okay, I'll put all the screws. Now the next part, we'll install the graphics card. Now to install the triple slot graphics card. So it's a pretty big graphics card. It's an Asus HD7970, but I put a new BIOS in and now it's in R9 280X. So you got these screws here to hold into place. You want to take off each individual screw, your screwdriver. Now what you want to do is line up the card with the PCI Express lane. Okay, now you just want to put the screws back in. And that's installing the graphics card. Next we'll install the power supply. Now to install the power supply, I prefer putting the fan up. I want to just hang the wire out. In this case it's an individually sleeved power supply. Stick it down, give it a push, and then install the 4 screws. Okay, that's it for the power supply. We'll be installing the DVD drive and my lighting kit. So now to install the CD drive / DVD drive, you want to put it in through the front, stick it through, then you will see holes here. You want to align it, clip this in, lock it, done. Next piece, it's the same thing here, but you got wires this time, so you want to put the wires in through first, allow it to fit in. Then you want to line up the holes once again, lock it, and you're done. I'm going to put extra screws in, but I'm sure you guys can figure that out. Now to install the Segate hard drive. I've already put it in this plastic coating. It just clips on to this side. Easily just put it in there, clips in, done. Okay, now to install the H100i, you want to make sure that your fans are up this way. And put the cable as close to the edge as possible. Place it there. You want to get your next fan and do the exact same thing. These screws here, and put them. Okay, now we're going to flip around the computer and I'll be right back. Okay, you want to grab the H100i. There's a whole difference between the eye. And you want to line it up. You want to make sure the piping is over here, so you can just place that like that. Now I'm going to install this bracket. Okay, as of installing the standoffs, we'll get the residue cleaned off and then go from there. So, you've seen Linus's video. Now I'm just going to install these screws on top, and then we'll cable it, and it's done. And then go from corner to corner and tighten it. Good. Okay, next we'll show you how to cable everything. Okay, so now we're going to cable the entire computer. So it's easy, you just cable everything, tie it all down. and then I'll see you in a bit. So here's the computer all cabled up at the back, and if I just spin it around, here's the front. I know the back looks horrible, but as long as you can get the side panel on, it doesn't really matter. So this is the final. It's all working. Got our operating system in, and yeah, it works now. So pretty happy, except for those green lights. I gotta cover those up again because yeah. Besides that, it's good.